What up, everybody? Welcome to Low 5 Gaming Podcast. Another episode brought to you by myself, Alex, and my brother, Luke.
Hello.
Today we're doing a little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Cowabunga, bro.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So this game, dude, I've actually been hyped. This is the first day one game that I've bought in a while.
Yeah?
And it's
You got Kirby the Forgotten Land
That's
on the
true.
first day.
That's true.
It's been the first game I've bought in like 2 months, bro.
That was a while ago now, right?
Sure.
No, you're right. I did get Kirby on day one.
But you were
I
very
did.
excited about this one for a
I
while.
was. I had my eye on it, dude, and I was pretty pleased with its reception over the internets because I was a little worried. I was like, I've been stoked on this game. What if people don't like it?
Yeah.
But people like it, from what I can tell.
The people I listen to like it. And if you don't like it, I ain't listening.
For real. I think a big part of that, though, is that it is on Game Pass. It was a day one Game Pass game, which is cool. So the folks that have that were able to download it and play it. I think that pulled a lot of people in.
I just think that most game critics are established in, mid-age millennials now. Not middle age, but like the middle of the millennial bracket, so prime turtle nostalgia.
Dude,
so
and this game is just that.
yeah, no, this is made for them. If you're 30 to 40 years old, 35 probably is the prime age to start, and then maybe 35 to like 47, this game was made for you.
Oh man, it's such a callback to the original arcade beat 'em up turtle games, which took the world by force when they came out. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is a beat 'em up. It's developed by Tribute Games, published by Dotemu. I don't know how to say that for sure.
You tried.
Dotemu.
I appreciate it.
Dotemu. Yeah. And I think that they are the folks that did Streets of Rage 4.
Cool.
Which is a super cool beat 'em up. I used to consider that to be, well, there's a couple of my favorite beat 'em ups of recent years. Turtles from back in the day, the Turtles arcade game, probably my all-time favorite. Streets of Rage 4 and Streets of Rage, like all the Streets of Rage are dope, dude. But 4 is really good. It's a nice polished one. It's worth getting into if you enjoyed this, because you didn't really mess around with a lot of beat 'em ups before this one.
No, I mean, so my first system played on was like the Sega N64 kind of thing. I mean, I know the Sega came out first. So
it was a cool turtle game for the Sega.
Don't remember that, but there was Spider-Man
Heist.
Maximum Carnage. That shit was sick.
Yep, that was a cool one.
And that was really like kind of
Those X-Men ones.
Kind of hard.
X-Men ones too.
Yeah, I was getting there. Shoot. X-Men Clone Wars, X-Men 2 Clone Wars. I don't know. There's 2 different X ones that we played, and they were pretty sick. And we would always go back. Ace and I especially would always go back, even as we got older, and would pop those in. And I've always liked those. And those are my only shmups. Shmups. That's
these are
beat 'em
beat 'em ups.
Yeah. See, this is the old head hour this week. This is the old head hour.
Dude,
But yeah, beat
there's
'em
some
ups
new.
is
You
the-
just gotta get with it, dude. There's some
Yeah.
new shmups out there that fucking blow your mind.
Sure. But yeah, beat 'em ups are cool.
Yeah,
and
totally.
There's gonna be like a nostalgia wave. Like I would like those games I mentioned, like the Spider-Man and the X one. I would like remastered or just like, take old content, old IP, and make a really cool, new, polished style of an old game type.
Right.
I'm always down for that. Kind of how Metroidvania's got their glow up in the indie movement.
Sure.
Now the beat 'em ups are, I suppose.
Dude, it's they're no longer like a little indie thing anymore. I think they're publicly traded and shit. But Devolver Digital,
Sure.
they still are an awesome publisher, dude. And one of my favorite beat 'em ups is actually under their umbrella. It's called Mother Russia Bleeds. That game's sick, dude.
Yeah, I've seen the art. It's kind of cool.
It's super cool. And it's just like, all the beat 'em ups are somewhat the same, where you have your button combos and shit, and you like can do
all very familiar.
double
to
tap
one
forward
another.
to dash, that kind of thing. But this Mother Russia Bleeds is cool, and it's like pretty violent, which is it's like one of those fun things, like
Novelty to it almost.
yeah, for sure. So
The
that
adult
that one's
version of
really
the
cool.
childish thing.
Totally, Mother Russia Bleeds and Streets of Rage 4 they were right up there on my like more recent favorite beat 'em ups. This one might have taken the cake, bro.
I don't think Alex actually likes beat 'em ups. It's just that he bought a ridiculous toy
Dude.
that he can use beat 'em ups on. It's like
I do like beat 'em ups, and an arcade stick is
got an
dope.
arcade stick. It's super fancy. It's a collector's item. You know that he got this just to flex.
I beat
cool
on that
toys.
thing. It's got some scratches on there, dude.
That's true.
I don't
But
carry
I
it
feel
around
like
with me to fucking
your
smash tournaments and
interest
shit.
in these style of games is derived from the cool toy.
That's true. I would. Well, I don't know, man. There's something about a beat 'em up and the layout of a controller, dude. And so like,
yeah.
we played this on the Switch, right? So you had basically your 4 buttons, your A, B, X, Y, B, A, X, Y for the fucking Switch.
Yeah.
But like the way it always works is, I mean, they're always a little different, but you just need to get yourself an arcade stick, or maybe I'll let you borrow mine just so you can feel like it works pretty well with a controller, no doubt. But when you're able to like the button placement on,
It brings back to the arcade, man.
right?
Yeah,
but you know, so like the way your fingers go and the way that you can like tap your thumb and your index and even your pinky, dude, and you stretch out and hit like one of those like it's being like the R and L on the Switch or whatever. It just works super well, man. So like I played this game with both the controller because I wanted to play it fully with my arcade stick, but we'll get into this in a little bit. We did some co-op to beat the game.
Hell yeah.
And dude, where my office and studio is located in my house, I get fine internet here, but for some reason my Switch is like, fuck you, the internet doesn't exist in this room. So I wasn't able to connect with y'all.
Classic
So I was
Nintendo.
like, oh man, I gotta go out and play this. I'm like, whatever. It worked out. But yeah, so
This is like a peasant on the real controller.
I tell you. But this was cool, man. It met my expectations. I'm happy with how it turned out. And I'm happy with its reception. Based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, obviously, and it's inspired by the 1987 Turtles animated series. And it borrows stylistically from the arcade and home console games of years past, late 80s, early 90s, right?
Sure.
So you were just talking about the level of nostalgia in this game, right?
Sure.
So they fed into that heavy.
It was a game
heavy.
built to look like a very polished version of something from the past.
Dude,
Yeah.
that intro scene was like straight, like even the way that they put the grain on the video or whatever for the intro it is, and the theme music that they did was very reminiscent of the 80s 87 like cartoon or whatever.
Sure.
Right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in the half shell.
And mind you, I'm a late 80s baby. So when Turtles hit the air, like I was an infant. So I
Yeah,
didn't really watch
okay.
that shit, right? But I grew up with it. So they've always been a part of my life. You're a bit younger than me. So you would have been familiar with Turtles, but you kind of like grew up, you're on the come up in a weird time where it was like kind of like the Turtle fever had maybe faded. And it was prior to its rebirth via Nickelodeon.
They were present and they were cool, and like it was mostly old heads kind of like hyped it up to you, and you were
Sure.
like, yeah, it's cool.
Plus I probably had like a mess of toys where you're just like, what are these?
Definitely. And like, I think there was some media around, so like they were cool. That's just the big thing. I mean, you had these pizza eating turtles that,
Right.
fought with ninja weapons. It's pretty cool.
And we didn't have the live action movies in our household. Well, I think we rented them and shit.
We
but we
watched
didn't own
them later in life and always enjoyed.
I mean, I was familiar. I had homies with them that we'd watch them or whatever.
A little upset they didn't sneak the Go Ninja rap in here.
Dude.
I'm sure Vanilla Ice could use the money for his home renovation projects or whatever it is.
There's some cool music later on in the game.
Great
though.
music, but doesn't have the Go Ninja rap.
That's true.
So
Go Ninja. Who would you even brought in to do Go Ninja in lieu of Vanilla Ice?
they're in
Maybe
lieu of-
like,
no, it's Vanilla Ice.
Well, no, I know, but like if we were gonna do
Who's
a
the
new
new
thing,
white corny hot boy rapper? Jack Harlow does the Go Ninja rap. It would be so cringy, but it would fit in time.
what's that other dude?
G Easy?
No. Let's give it to the guy.
Post Malone.
Yeah, let's give it to Post Malone, dog.
Post Malone to find a way to like make it slap, like be incredibly cringy, but you can't deny that you actually want to listen to it.
Dog, I want to listen to that now. Post
Yeah.
Malone, get on that shit.
I feel like he could earnestly do that in the most delightfully cornball way, like with his yodeling ass.
I think he's the
like-
one. I think we
I'm
gotta
calling
get
him
Post
up right
Malone on
now.
this shit.
I'm calling him up
Get him on the
right
ringer.
now.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
cool.
glad we got that out of the way.
Holla at your boy Post Malone.
Yeah.
Make that ninja rap.
We'll give you Bud Lights and pizza, bro. I'm sure.
But yeah, so this game, I mean, it's ranked out of all the Turtles games, it is ranked the highest on Metacritic.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
I
so
suppose
it's-
the other ones were made like arcade style, so more for like feeding in quarters and such. For this one,
Yeah, I mean, this has that element. I don't know how much of the arcade play style you went through because there's story mode and then there's arcade mode.
I had no idea. No,
And dog.
my bad. I mean, I can see that. It just seems like it's like a high end take on fast food. It's like when you go back and you do an old art style, like you don't go out of your way to like choose this medium of game or genre, however you want to put it, and then make a half-assed attempt. You need to feel really good. You need to look really good. So if you're gonna do like a retro remake style in the future, I should have better vocabulary for this. But if you're gonna reach back into the Wayback Machine, it's just like the Like Hollow Knight's a great example of like a Metroidvania that's just gorgeous, and it's like just a polished up version of like old style gameplay.
Sure.
Or what's the ninja one, bro? Katana Zero.
Oh yeah. That was dope.
That's like another example of like if you're gonna take this old style game, you gotta make it gorgeous, action verge, all those types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I feel you for sure. And I'm glad they made this, dude. I was pretty excited for it to come out. I'm pretty excited for the Cowabunga collection to come out.
What's
I don't
in
know
that?
if you got your. I
No,
don't know
I
if
did
you got
not.
the finger on the pulse on that one. That is a 13 game collection, I want to say, of all the classic Turtle games. So we've got, they're pulling from the arcade classics, the NES, the SNES, the Sega, Game Boy. Because there's a handful of side-scrolling Turtle games out there, dude.
I bet.
And a lot of them are pretty darn good.
I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Dude,
I don't know a single one other than this one.
Dude, my earliest so you missed out on a lot of this just because of the time, I want to say. But when I was growing up, dude, back in my day, the two Nintendo games that were turtle centric that I played the most, or I think there's like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 turtle games out there for Nintendo. But the first one is just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that came out in '89, and that game is pretty fucking tough. It's a side scroller, beat 'em up, but it has this.
NES or the NES?
This one's on the NES. I just recall this one standing very apart from Turtles 2, which is actually a port of the arcade game of Arcade Turtles, which is my favorite. But on the original TMNT game, I remember you take what's the name of the turtle van? Well, anyways, you drive that thing around, dude, like it's a top-down isometric view.
Oh, sure. For those of you who are a little confused, just think of the Super Mario 3
Yeah.
overworld map where you're little Mario going from little square to little square on your map.
So it's a lot like
That's
that.
The classic,
and then
most
you
identifiable.
right,
Yeah.
and then it goes into a side-scrolling beat 'em up situation. But I
That's
just
cool.
recall it being super grueling, dude. I never beat that game.
I guess that's how this game is, though. You're
Yeah. So it's definitely a throwback, a callback,
Yeah.
dude. But then so that was like a fun game to pop in, but then I get frustrated with it, and then I'd pull the card out, blowing Turtles 2, and
Yeah.
put that one in, and get that one to work. And that one super fun, dude. That one. I don't think I ever actually beat that game as a kid. Like, we got pretty far playing with homies and shit. I didn't beat that game in its entirety until I beat the arcade version at the college I went to, at St. John's University.
fun.
They had the Turtles arcade down in the rec room of my dorm room for free. So you didn't have to pop
shit.
quarters in or anything. You just do as many lives as you want. So
It's
I kind
like
of
Alex's
kind of
only
cheated.
wholesome college memory, bro.
I mean, we got kind of drunk and went down there.
Ah, boo. This is for the families, and then you ruined it. Continue.
We'll cut that out. I went down there totally sober and played the shit out of Turtles.
After
every night.
reading the Bible at St. John's.
So that was super fun, dude. And then that game, whenever I go to an arcade and I see Turtles, I gotta get me some Turtles.
Nice.
We might even do a little bit. I might pull you in and we'll play some Turtles arcade one of these
Hey,
days.
man, I wouldn't complain too much if I get the time.
But that game is great, dude. That game, it's like slightly better graphics. The NES port that they made for it, that actually was a super good port. It's going to be more polished. It's going to be, it like moves a little faster, and it's a little better on the actual arcade machine. And those are your arcade, what is it, the arcade 1-ups or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can buy those, and like they have that game. They have a bunch of classic games, but that's one of the classics, dude. Like that game, people fucking loved that when it came out.
Sure.
Dope. Not that I was like around for that, but I loved it when I was
Yeah.
old enough to like
Sure.
begin in arcades.
Yeah.
But it's my understanding that the arcades went wild.
Yeah, we kind of missed the
Turtles.
zeitgeist on the
A little bit.
arcade mania,
Totally.
which is cool. I'd rather have the home console generation, but arcades do sound cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love. I'll go, dude. I have a couple arcades that I hit. I don't like go way out of my way, but whenever I'm in Chicago, I always hit the beer arcade or whatever, and then up down in a few different cities. We got one here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, no, they're cool. I dig them. I'm just kind of saying,
it's
like,
one up in Denver and shit.
you watch like an '80s movie and the kids are all
yeah.
up at the arcade.
It was definitely like, now I feel they're more novelty. You go to like
Oh,
it's
for
like
sure.
go to a bar, have some fun or whatever. And
for old millennials /
yeah.
young Gen X.
Totally. Now you talk to some people that actually, because we grew up, we had the Genesis, but we got that late and it was kind of a hand me down, so we weren't really buying a bunch of new Genesis games.
You had what you had
Right.
when you were a child with a Sega Genesis.
I mean, a bunch of kids had a ton of games, but our games came from.
And they're all stored in an old school candy box.
Not anymore,
the
bro.
fundraising candy box.
For the longest time it
20
was.
years they were.
Now I got them in acrylic cases. They're safe on my
Ooh,
shelf.
yes, but before that, those little candy boxes you pimp from door to door for your school, and you get like $12 worth of fundraising at the end of selling like $100 worth of candy bars. Mm-hmm. That's where all the games were.
Yeah, I wish we had Hyperstone Heist, but I think all of our games came from they're straight up hand-me-downs. I think I bought like a couple off some homies. I might have got some off some like
Garage sale
type
nonsense,
stuff. We acquired a bunch from the homie Ace.
Yeah. Acquired is a gentle term. It was a coup.
Yeah.
Just playing.
You can't have them back, Ace.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
can't have them back.
It's squatters' rights, bro.
We're keeping them. We're
Squatters'
keeping them.
But
We'll
shit,
give them
man,
back when we're rich.
Speaking of of the homie Ace, like he actually got in and played this. Before we talk about that though, let's talk a little bit just about your experience and how you went around playing Shredder's Revenge prior to us doing co-op.
I was a spaz, and I would do like I barely like you guys were both further than me, even though I played just as much because I didn't want to pick one character. Like you level up a character, and it gives you more health.
You got you got a choice between your 4 turtles, April O'Neil, and
Master Splinter.
Yeah, Splinter.
And I played as all of them just because I wanted to see the differences. And there's slight differences, like it's a beat 'em up, so everybody has like the same attack patterns, but they do different things sometimes. They have weapon, reach, and they have different stats. So like speed, power,
agility, maybe. That's probably speed.
Speed, yes. They have different specials, which is fun to experiment with. So I would
range, speed, and power.
It was pretty gnarly to like play it that way, and I would repeat a lot of levels. I'd go back and look for little keepsakes, which do nothing. They give you points.
Dude,
and you're like, what are these points going towards?
That part is actually a little frustrating to me because I enjoy the fact that they put these little like
give you a reason to replay, but
right. But then you go and you collect, and they're like, here you get 100 points, and I don't even know where my fucking points are.
Yeah,
like I don't even know where to find my points. Where are my points?
Like, let me unlock some skins or something sillier. Like they could have done something where you could like even unlock different comics, pictures.
That'd be dope.
Like Nintendo always does silly stuff like that in their games. Like you unlock stickers and you're like just anything.
Just such low-hanging fruit. Turtles is derived from a comic book.
Yeah,
like the original before the TV series, it was a comic book. You
pile of merchandise throughout their history.
Or just you could get a whole bunch of thumbnails for. Dude, you're right. I think they fucked up.
Yeah, this game is a 2 out of 10 now.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's turn off the podcast right now. Fuck this game.
Undo this game.
No, it's a great game.
But so I replayed the same levels a bunch of time. I upgraded people, and I played it pretty slowly. Like I'd only in a playthrough, or not a playthrough, but in a play session, I'd only play like 2-3 levels at the most.
Right on. Yeah, so I did it differently. I'm a Donatello main for sure.
Yeah,
I love that nerdy shit.
Noob.
Dude, you say that, but you know what? That's like whatever, man. I'm just using you. Okay, the reason Luke's saying it's noob is because Donatello has a bow staff and it's got hella range, right?
Because he's scared.
So
keep space between him and the enemies.
But no, Donatello Plus. I just like, dude. You press R in this game or whatever, and they do a little animation deal, and what it'll do is it adds to your power. Yeah, so you can either beat up enemies to have your power meter go all the way up so you can do a special, or you can do your taunt.
Yeah.
And dude, Donatello's got a little thing where he's like, hold up, guys, and he like gets on his Game Boy.
Yeah, he crouches and secretively
I've
plays his Game Boy.
I've never felt so much more connected to Donatello in my life.
Al's been seen. Splinter does some yoga.
Dude, Leo does some weird like stupid yoga thing too.
Yeah, Leo's a boner. I don't play as Leonardo much. I mean, he's tight with the swords as always, but he's got such a boner of a personality. I'm a responsible one.
Man, I tell you what, Donatello's just the best. What can I say?
Purple's tight.
Purple is tight.
Bow staff's cool.
Bow staff's dope.
Tech guy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
it's just it's all cool shit.
Yeah.
Gotta go Donatello. But you're right, it's got that range, so it is for someone that's approaching this game or doing a beating up for the first time is a nice one to go with because you got that range.
Yeah, and the leveling up your character doesn't do a ton. I mean, it gives you more hit points. It gives you more special points, so you can use your special more than once. So it is actually very helpful.
As the story starts, though, I thought that was kind of weird about this game, how to roll that out. And I didn't mind it so much, but they're holding back your abilities until you level up your character. So you don't unlock like your double jump, like smash whatever deal until you like reach a certain point, which I was like, okay, that's cool. But at the same time, like,
for less fluent me, it was nice because they like teach you how to do all the different moves, and it was like too many different things. Like I needed a hack for a while to get good at the different stuff.
Right on.
So I didn't mind. But also when we finally did link up, like you and Ace for like level 5s or 7s, and I was like a 2.
Yeah. Because I went in Donatello and I got all the way till round, I think they call them episode 12 or something like that, which is right before you go into you like take this warp portal into the I don't know, whatever dimension. Dimension X.
Cartoons.
Very
and
Turtle
shit.
stuff. Dude, the thing is sprinkled with Turtles lore. Like, all the characters are
yeah.
throwbacks, like, all the places. It's super cool.
I
But
didn't
you're
know
in
any of them
Manhattan.
other than New York and, Master Splinter. And, like, the only enemy that I knew was Shredder and then the Foot Clan.
Dude, it was a lot of fun for me to see a few of those enemies. I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady, you got to, they're like the pig and the rhino. You got to be somewhat
They
familiar
looked
with those
familiar,
guys.
but, like, if you put them in
Sure,
a
sure.
lineup and we're like, what, show is this villain from? I might get Turtles, but I don't know if I would have.
It was fun for me. I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady are always fucking dope. It was fun for me to see the Rat King because I had that toy. So he was like the dude that's looks kind of like a mummy almost, and like very, and he like has rats. I don't.
Is he the one playing the flute?
Yeah, totally.
And then you
It's
had
a very Pied Piper thing.
Yeah, and you had to jump over the river of rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Rat King was fun for me to see. Like, there were some other ones that were really cool. Like Baxter Stockman was this weird. I'm pretty sure he's that nerdy fly dude.
Sure.
He's like a classic Turtles dude. They're all classic, but Krang's like the bad guy. Well, Shredder is, but then you got Krang. He's like this mastermind or whatever. And then he's got his big suit, and that's kind of where the story circles around is the Foot Clan. And gotta mention the Foot Clan, dude, beating up the Foot.
Yeah, you buried the lead. They're the funniest enemies in the game because they're
They
always
are tough.
doing regular ass shit in the levels you're playing. Before they attack you, they'll be like working on computers in the office. They'll be like carrying shopping bags in the mall, clearly just shopping around. And the game's very cheeky in that way. It's kind of cute.
It's super
very
funny.
Yeah.
The basis of this game is they're taking over the Statue of Liberty, right? And you gotta go save them. But
Classic New York stuff, you know.
New York Turtle stuff. So you went at it where you were trying all these different characters, trying to figure out and I went at it when I was playing by myself, where I was just trying to level the shit up out of Donatello.
Yeah.
And then it just worked out where the homie Ace, friend of the pod, friend of the fam, gets he ends up getting the game. And we're like, well, shit, let's do some 3-person co-op.
Chilling at the cabin.
Oh, he was up at the cabin. That's
He
right.
was,
Yeah.
Vibing.
Dude, my wife was making fun of me because like we were like, oh, let's make it happen. Let's get some turtles going. So I'm like running around. I'm trying to get my Switch to work in my office where I had my setup with my arcade stick and everything. I was ready to go hammer. And then all of a sudden my Switch was like, cannot like connect. I was like, God damn it, the internet's supposed to be great. Why is it not? And so I like go in and I'm like running around. She's just like laughing at me as I'm like excited to play and everything. But we did get it in. I got it
with
to
the
work.
boys.
Yeah. That was super fun. So we picked it up. We did 2 different sessions, right?
Yep.
Because your boy over here had to go to sleep.
Shut up. I got a bedtime, dog. I got shit in the morning.
But
This man sent me a text at 3 a.m. last week. What the fuck is wrong with you?
last night?
Yeah.
What'd I send?
Your link to the fucking emulator on the Xbox.
Oh yeah, well that's when I came through that shit.
This man be up till 3 a.m. gonna make fun of me and
Bitch,
my
I ain't
10
no nerd.
my 10:30 bedtime.
Well,
I got
anyways,
shit to do.
we got the trio going. We did 2 different sessions and it was a lot of fun. And this game is fun by itself. It's a super fun side-scrolling beat 'em up. But I tell you what, man, just like the arcade, when you get some homies together to play this game, it's gonna elevate your experience, and it totally did. We were able to. It would have been even better if we did couch co-op, but we were able to do it via the internets.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I think we got the old Discord going so we could chat with each other, which obviously made it better because you can connect with random folks as well, which is cool.
word, yeah.
It's way cooler when you can get some homies and you're talking about what's going on.
Yeah, just goofing around.
And that was like, I think it's like episode 12 or whatever, right before you go into Dimension X, is one of the most difficult in the game, in my opinion.
It was like a mini boss and everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like both Ace and I were right around there, so it kind of worked out perfectly. You kind of, so we brought you up to there because
Yep.
that's how it works.
Helped
when
me
you
level up. I focused on just Master Splinter then.
right? Because right,
So
right.
I could get good.
And so this game, when you're playing in co-op, you are able to invite folks to your storyline, right? So like we went back and we helped you get up to the level we were at, but then as we progressed, I was able to take in all that progression onto my story as well,
Oh, you
which
were?
is kind of
Cool.
cool. Yeah. But at that time, I don't remember for whatever reason. Oh yeah, you were like, don't play as Donatello because he's too overpowered right now.
Yeah, it was lame.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
You're way better than me. What the fuck?
So I fired up April O'Neil.
Yeah.
And I played as April, and she was actually a lot of fun, man. She's got her microphone. She spins that around to hit people and stuff. April's cool.
Was Ace Roth? Was Ace?
I think he played Roth for a little bit. He might have. I think he came in as Donatello. Maybe that was one of the. Oh no, maybe that was the second round. He was being Don.
No. Well, yeah, one of them he was definitely Don. Maybe both.
I think he did. I think he did some Roth, and I think he did some Don. I can't
Sure.
remember how he won though.
Yeah.
Then when we came back, and then we finished it off together a couple nights later. And that was super dope, dude. Like to go through and like we went into Dimension X and we plowed through and we took on Shredder.
Hell yeah.
Took on Crane.
Saved
Retook
me
on
hard.
Shredder.
Yep.
Retook on Crane or whatever.
Yeah, I was like,
did
we're
say.
done, boys. Going to bed. And then I was like, no, fine. Gotta do the last boss, I suppose.
And what do you think of the difficulty of it? Do you remember what your difficulty setting was at? I forget what they call them, but it's basically easy, medium, hard.
I'm pretty sure I just did medium.
Yeah, I was rocking. I've been rocking medium the whole time.
But it's a lot easier. Not in like a cheap way, but it's a lot fun and easier to play as a squad. You can heal each other.
Right. That's
each
one of the
other
main
pizza.
cool things about it is going because you don't lose a life then, right? You just feed them some pizza. It takes some time, just like the taunt. It takes a few seconds. So if an enemy comes and fucks you up during it,
Yeah,
then
we
you have to
definitely
restart.
died trying to heal each other plenty of times. So it's not like it's too easy.
Especially
but
with the chaos of some of the bosses, like
Yeah.
Shredder especially, dude. I played Shredder by myself.
it's kind of easy. You can just hide in that corner.
Well, once you figure out how to cheese it, yeah. But so like if you're, because Shredder you actually can't even hurt until he drops to his knees, I don't think.
Yeah.
So you really got to avoid all his attacks, and then you go get at him once he drops and runs out of energy. But when you refight Shredder, he does this thing where I was curious because he puts out these, I don't know, spirit shredders or whatever. So there's four
phantoms. Or
four
something.
phantom shredders that you have to take down before you could take him down. And I was curious if that was because we're playing with a couple extra people, but no, it's always like that way. So it's a lot
Probably
nicer.
sucks.
Dude, it does kind of suck because like when you have a few people, you can pick a different corner and I'll take one down. But when you're playing by yourself, you got to dash to one side, dash to the other side. You make it work, but
Sure.
But it's not as easy. So the co-op.
No, I bet not.
And you know what? I tell you what, dude. I bet you if it was just Donatello out there, he'd probably have a tough time. But he's got his bros.
Oh, he's got
his
that
bros
long ass
coming.
reach. He'd get to all them fandoms.
I mean, he does have that long reach.
that long reach. He's got it hanging and swanging.
But the point is,
Yeah.
the Turtles are a quad.
Yep.
Work together, bro.
Thanks. Even though we barely had any turtles in our group, we were April O'Neil.
That's
and
true.
Master Splinter
That's true.
handling the job for the boys.
At the end of this game, you unlock Casey Jones as well. Dope.
Spoiler.
Fuck, man, it's all over the internet. Someone got in this. Dude, people know.
Casey Jones is fun,
They dropped
too.
that as a teaser to this game. They're like, you can play as Casey Jones.
no.
But they don't tell you like how you get him. Oh, yeah.
Which is
Okay,
cool.
sorry. You
I
beat the
kind of
game
wish
and you
that
get to play as
April O'Neil and
yeah.
Splinter were that way too.
Yeah, I'm surprised. You can play up to 6 folks, too. Like, you can get 6 people up
That
on this
sounds
game.
like chaos.
It does, because it was a little chaos when it was 3 of us playing.
Yeah.
It would have been dope to
I
have
occasionally
4.
forgot what character I was.
Dude, sometimes I did too. I was like, look at yours. I'd be like, why is it? I'm like, what the hell? And then I'd be like, oh yeah, shit.
He's acting like an idiot. Oh no.
Yeah. That's the nature of a beat 'em up, though, especially
Yeah.
when you're playing with multiple folks. I played some more since our little takedown of Shredder and
Sure.
Crane. Not quite as fun. I mean, it's still dope, but I definitely highly recommend trying to either pulling in some randoms from the internet. You know, if you got homies, you
If you have friends,
get a hold of them.
it is a cool pick it up game. Like it's
I
very
bet you it's
short.
great for couch co-op too. Like I haven't
Yeah.
played anybody couch co-op, but
Like I can imagine bringing it to work with a few extra controllers and just being like, "We're turtling up, boys." That
Dog.
would be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's a short game, but like when I unlocked Casey Jones, I did the first 8 or 9 levels again.
he's tough too. I mean, like tough isn't he's a good character.
Yeah, and it was just fun to play. But I was just drinking my coffee, listening to a podcast. Like I just picked it up,
Yeah.
derped through a bunch of.
So you're not
levels.
listening to the audio? See, the audio is probably not as much fun for you because they drop so many lines from the cartoons and the movies and shit that
I'm
it's
always
just
listening
like,
to a pod
Okay,
or just
okay.
like chilling or
Yeah.
I'm not like
dude, the sound bites
blasting
in
it.
this. I got a homie. Shout out to the homie Peter. He and his son played this game. Had a great time playing co-op. But Peter was like, dude, my son liked it. He said it was a dope game, super fun. But he didn't get any of the references, you know, because his son's probably like, I don't know, 18 or something like that right now.
Sure.
Wasn't a huge Turtles fan or whatever growing up like Peter was. So and that's just it. That falls back into this whole nostalgia grab of this game where it's. But the thing is like it's still a great introduction to anybody that has not.
Yeah, what's a zoomer to know?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Outside of there we are, yeah. They have the weird Nickelodeon roundy.
Dude,
everything
I
looks.
can't
like
hate too
not-
much because I haven't watched any of that shit. But like, what the hell, man? I just love the animation of the
Yeah, the animation's
originals.
strange, but that's probably what the kids like, so why not? Someone,
I've got a couple of those turtles.
Figure that out.
I've got a couple of those turtle games on my 3DS, and they're cool. They're not. They're more. They're what would you call it? It's not a side scrolling. It's like you can go up, down, all around.
Metroidvania.
No. It's like isometric top down, I guess.
Oh,
But it's still beat 'em up. It's interesting. They're all right. They're they're not as good as
Word.
this though.
like Diablo looking,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
but not about loot. All right,
Yep.
I
Totally.
suppose. Oh no, and it's kind of like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's more similar to that, but it's not as polished.
Well, it's on
Like,
3DS.
it's on 3DS, yeah.
You want to talk about the music? Rizzo is the only thing I turned up the volume for. Rizzo does a
Dude.
song when you fight
for
Shredder,
sure.
and that's fucking cool.
Yeah, we've already talked about the art of this. It's like it's a great throwback to, the 80s, early 90s games, especially your, like, I would say this is most akin to your Turtles in Time for the heads that have played Turtles in Time before, which is a Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, I don't think it was on Sega. I think it was just a Super Nintendo and an arcade game. So, like, where I really resonate with the Turtles arcade, a lot of folks out there are strong Turtles in Time heads. And I tell you what, Turtles in Time, it's a great game. I just never played it a whole bunch. And that is where you got the introduction of the throws at the screen, which is one of the coolest animations in this game, dude. Where
To throw, you have to just stand still next to the enemy and he grabs, and we're such spazzes.
you just walk up
I
to
mean,
him, you just
yeah.
can't punch him is the thing.
Yeah,
Or
but we're
kick.
such spazzes that it rarely actually
I know.
works, and then you're too busy hitting 40 buttons in advance to actually do the throw. But sometimes when you pull it off, it's super cool.
Yeah, because you can do different kind of throws, right? Which is very, very beat 'em up of this. But like if you go up and you press, I believe it's down. So if you grab him and hold down, then it throws it towards the screen, and that animation's so fun. But very Turtles in Time. And then in general, I just want to make mention before we go into the music as well, that not only do we have this reminiscent art style of those old arcade classic games, you got, kind of as we were talking, it's this new age polish, and you've got, machines that are a little bit more powerful these days. So even though it's not the fanciest like artwork or whatever, you get a lot of fun things going on in the background.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's super pretty, but then it's like, I don't know, it's just funny to see, like, I don't know, like when you're at the zoo, you see some giraffes doing some shit in the background.
Dude, those
or-
monkeys like throw shit at you. They hurt. I tried doing my thing,
The
like
monkeys be
leveling
throwing
up my
bananas.
fucking. Tried leveling up my abilities so I could like have
Yeah.
a special going in those next little robot things, and the monkeys were throwing shit at me. I was like, what the fuck?
Yep, dude, we got to talk about this too. So they do missions on each level, which we've mentioned, right? But some of those missions are don't get hit missions, and I fucking hate those. Are you kidding
They're
me?
challenges. is
Yeah,
what he's-
yeah, or challenges or whatever. But like they're stupid. They're like a challenge. It's like I don't have any time.
You tried
for,
not being bad at turtles, bro.
Dude,
You tried not to suck.
I guess there's that, dude. But I don't know, man. There's like
Once again, there's no incentive to do these other than
Right.
you look and feel cool and get like an achievement for it, maybe if that's your grind. But
this game is going to be huge in the speedrunning community. Guarantee it.
Sure.
Like, because you're right. You don't get awesome benefits for doing all these accomplishments. But what they do is they track how long it takes you to beat levels. So, and those in turn get uploaded if you're connected to the internet. And you got leaderboards. So just as I tell you what, Turtles Arcade and all those all the old Turtle games, fucking speedrunners love that shit, and then they go through that, and then so this game will evolve into that. It probably already has to an extent, but that'll continue. But yes, you asked about the music.
music's good.
It's pretty good,
That's
dude.
how-
Good
that's how
vibes.
it's fun.
Good vibes. So the majority of the soundtrack's done by this dude named T. Lopes, I think. Tiago is his real name, but goes by T. But this dude, he did work on Streets of Rage 4, which I mentioned earlier, Metal Slug Tactics, Sonic Mania, and he actually got his come up, from my understanding, composing remixes of video game music on his YouTube channel, which
fun.
is translated into, so it's like this YouTube hobby that he had that has turned into real work, which is really cool. I mean, not that that's not real work, but you know what I'm saying. It's paid work.
Yeah, no. Yeah, for sure.
So he did the majority of the soundtrack, and it is really cool. Each of the different episodes or levels has a different vibe to it, and he does a great job with the whole thing. And he's got a few different featured artists on a couple of the different tracks. Mike Patton did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme that happens at the beginning. We mentioned that at the lead of the episode, where you have the animation style of the of the cartoon series of the 80s. The theme music for that is also very reminiscent of the original theme music, which is super cool, and also like an incredible nostalgia gab right at the beginning. Then what really shines in this game is "We Ain't Came to Lose" by Raekwon and Ghostface Killer.
I said it was RZA earlier. How embarrassing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
there goes your cred.
I know.
It's a pretty fire track, dude.
It's fun. It totally makes sense as to why members of Wu-Tang would want to do this. If you know anything beyond just buying a t-shirt at Target, you know their obsession with kung fu movies and stuff, and they kind of came up right on that era.
Right.
So I'm sure they grew up with a ton of turtles.
Probably, dude. And
They're like
super
Aaron's
happy.
age, I assume.
Aaron being the eldest brother,
The eldest of the low fives.
the low five brothers.
non PlayStation 5 playing ass, but he owns one. Send it to me, dog. You don't use it. Don't lie to me.
Oh, dang. Raekwon and Ghostface, and that happens during the Shredder fight. So
Yeah, it's cool.
biggest, tightest fight of the game. You got some Raekwon, Ghostface going. It's a vibe, dude. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, now I'm here to beat you with full force. Mess up your facial features. Hasta la vista, I'm selling all y'all little Caesars. All y'all stuff your face with is pizza. Pizza crack like a hard-boiled egg on Easter. See these muscles on me? I could beat your teacher. I'll defeat Leonardo, y'all become the weakest. I take off all of your mass and dismantle your features. Shredder, I cross the line like a letter. Smash all of you turtles, put you back together. Indeed, I squish turtles like a tight girdle. Any obstacle, I clear it like a high hurdle. My stomach cringes for all of you fake ninjas. Fighting you are winless, show you what revenge is. Diabolical move, strike with mad vengeance.
What do you think, man? We obviously had a good time playing this game. A lot more fun as a co-op.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's said and done, you've rolled the credits. Would you recommend this game to other folks?
If you got Game Pass, yeah, just download it. If it was on sale, what's it retail at, like $25?
It's $20. Yeah, it's $25.
So I'd say if it ever goes on a little bit of a deeper discount, easy grab, fun little thing to pound out throughout the weekend. You know,
Great
you got
game.
a long car ride maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do some light gaming. It's a great time. If I had to put it on like a 1 to 10 scale, give it like a 6.5 to a 7.5, just because like, can you really peak? Can you really peak any higher than that on a game that's like, I don't want to say it's shallow, but like it's a short little romp. It's an elevated fast food.
I think it's what it's meant to be. I would say it's better than that.
Delightfully executed, but
right.
if Red Dead is a 9 or a 10, then it can't be in the neighborhood.
Dude, that's why I've never been a huge fan of ratings because it's like
it's impossible.
Yeah,
but if you had to,
right,
you have to right now, dude.
I'd give it a little bit more love than that. But
Give it as a patented Alex 10,
Nah,
the patented 8. This is one of his
I wouldn't go
top
down to
10 games of all time, guys.
I wouldn't go to a 6. I'd go to a 7. I think
got his,
7's solid.
He's got his, top
think
10 list
I'd
that's
make
ever
it
growing to about 117 games now. So this is his top 10.
I'd make it a 10 if it had those comic book little deals you're
More
talking about.
collectibles or
If there was more
something.
collectibles, just
Something
something
to
more,
encourage
some
you.
more incentive to play more because it's got good replay value, but
It does.
you're just playing, which is such a silly thing to say. You're purely playing for the joy of playing this game, right? Which is like, obviously that should be all games, but their incentive system is not great. You go to different characters, which is really fun because all these characters are throwbacks to, again, it's like very nostalgic or whatever, and it's a lot of fun to see those characters and interact with those characters. But you go there and they're like, hey, great, you did this thing. Like you collected all these headlines for me, or you collected all my diary entries, or you collected whatever you're collecting.
Arbitrary number of points.
Right. So it's like 50 or 100 points. And like I said, I'm not even sure where my points are being kept track of in this game.
Yeah,
So
it wouldn't even need to be much.
I will note too that majority of our playtime has been via story mode, which is different than the arcade mode. Arcade mode is going to be more classic and reminiscent of the previous arcade games for Turtles. So you're given a limited amount of lives, and when you die, you die. You don't get you do get some continues or whatever.
Sure.
But with the story mode, it was a
I
lot.
die like once per level sometimes.
Yeah, but it's a little bit harder in the
would need
arcade,
that, yeah.
right? So it's a bit harder in the arcade mode, and it's not, and you don't get to save your progression, right? So in the story mode, if you make it to episode 12, cool, shut your system down, pick it up tomorrow, right?
Classic.
In the arcade mode, you make it to 12 and you quit, you got to start over again.
Even if you sleep your system.
Well, no,
Oh, okay. Just asking, dog.
but if you get out of the game, then you're out of the game.
Sure.
And so that's another thing. That's another way to go about these games, and that's another play style for this type of game. But bottom line, would I recommend this game? Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on if you have Game Pass, there's no reason why you should not download this game and check it out. And then I guess I'm with you on the fact that I didn't even pay full price for this game. I got day one. So they had I don't remember, it was a 5 to 10% discount because I think it's $25, $20. But basically, if you can slap $5 off there, go for it. So throw it on your wish list. This will for sure go down to 50% in,
A year.
in a year or whatever it is.
Yeah, and if they released DLC, sounds silly, but if they release more levels and stuff, I'd want to play them.
True.
Right?
I got love for this game. It definitely met my expectations. Super fun. It was a fun, I'll be honest, dude, I'm not a big co-op person. And this kind of got my little toes in the water.
You big ass toes.
People on the internet don't know I'm 6'6", bro.
He's 6'5". This man.
I'm not 6'5".
This
I'm
man
6'6".
late into his 30s has just come to this revelation that he is now 6'6". Get the fuck
Hey
outta
man,
here.
what can I say?
You just realized you can lie on a fucking driver's ID and then
Nah, bro, I've been measured. I've been measured.
He was measured plenty of times. He
I
didn't
ain't got nothing
grow.
to prove. I
He
know how
didn't
big I
grow.
am.
He was wearing some big old shoes.
If anything, growing is my belly.
Yep, fair. I heard that. I feel that in my soul.
Well, shoot, man. Let's take a little break, hear a little something from our unsanctioned sponsor, and then we'll come back at you with some side questing.
Our unsanctioned sponsor this week is Tushy and the Bidet Revolution.
Ooh, dude.
Listen, if you describe it as splashing your butt with water, it's a little crude. But like, what are we being bougie about? What are we acting like this isn't the finer acts of life? This should be everywhere in America. We odd and prudish about it. You tell people you want a bidet, and sometimes they give you this funny look like, you don't talk about those things in public. And I'm like, talking about cleaning our butt.
Dog.
As my
I'll tell
friend
you what.
Tyler says, if you got a piece of poo on your arm, you wouldn't just wipe it off. You would be washing your arm.
True.
What is the difference with your booty hole then? Why wouldn't you wash
I'm about to
the
put
booty hole?
I'm about to put a cease and desist to this fucking unsanctioned sponsor myself because I'm trying to get that Tushy money. But I tell you what,
Right.
you're right.
If they just want to
You
send me,
gotta
if they just
get
want
a
to send
Tushy
me a
once.
Tushy, then this can be a sanctioned sponsor.
Yo, Tushy.
I'll take a Tushy. You can get the prime ones where they heat up the water
yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's real into it. He's like, no, man, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night.
I don't mind the cold blast, bro.
Me neither, but my man is a king, and if he wants warm water splashing on his booty, that is his prerogative.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, so unsanctioned sponsor.
Did you know that Tushy has a
Tushy.
travel Tushy?
Is it just like water?
Dude, it's like a collapsible water bottle that you just spray in your booty hole.
That's
Thought about
mildly disturbing and
I thought about
amazing.
getting one for our pops just because he
Yeah.
loves.
He gets
Dude,
upset
Our
when he
whole
has to
family
go.
is like totally on board with the Tushy.
But like, what's with America, man? We got a lot of questions to answer on that one, but like, maybe the Tushy one's like a bridge that gaps us together. Like, why are we being prudish about the bidets? Let's chill on that. Let's
I got my wife hooked up the Tushy for Christmas, and it's the cleanest my booty hole's been in 30 years.
with
35 years. I'm 35 years old.
just like unlike our dad, you should still probably wipe your butt when you're done.
Dude, he's wild. He'd be so embarrassed to know that this is on the
dog.
internet. But I tell you what, you still got to do. Yeah, of course. You like spray, do your thing.
For those of you unindoctrinated, like, yeah,
You
you
gotta
still
make
wipe
sure.
your butt, dog. Like, yeah,
gotta make sure.
You gotta make sure. It's like you gotta dry and take care of your business. But like, it's not just like splash and get up, and it doesn't get it's cleansely okay. That's all right. So yeah,
So here's your unsanctioned sponsor, Clean Buttholes.
we'll say Tushy because that's the only brand my simple little self knows. But like,
Dude,
just bidets in
Have
general.
you used
my dude.
bidets other places? Should we just make this a bidet unsanctioned
This is
sponsor?
a bidet unsanctioned
Right on.
sponsor. No, Bent Brewstillery has them in the ladies' bathroom, and the F, bro.
You guys don't have one? Or you guys decide not to do it?
I don't claim them. This is an unsanctioned sponsor, Bent. Good beer, but anyway. Yeah, they have them in the girls' bathroom,
Oh,
but
funny.
not the boys' bathroom. I was like, what?
Dude, so
What?
in the South Korea airport, they all got like there's
Southeast
bidets
Asia
everywhere.
about this life.
Oh, man.
Europe is about this life.
Yeah, see, but especially Japan, and Korea and a couple different here's the deal. So I've been all over the place. I've been to a few
Cool.
places, dude, and there's like
I have
there's
watched Dave Matthews Band,
and there's shitty bidets, dude. There's that bidet that is like, I don't know if you've seen them, but they basically just look like a toilet, and they're next to your regular toilet, and you have to get over and hover over them and splash them all up in your butthole. I don't have time
want
for
a
that.
one-stop shop for sure.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. So like, or there's another method is to have like your dishwasher spray hose.
This is way too long.
Dude,
This is your bidet podcast.
dude, I tell you what, I've tried a few
Unsanctioned
bidets.
sponsors video games for the bidet podcast.
Dog. But the spray thing, I'm down with it, but like, it's just not the same. You need that one stop bidet clean butthole situation. Some of them bitches got LEDs and stuff on
Dude,
there in
someone
case
out
you
there
want like a
is-
little rave for your butthole.
Someone out there is triggered right now, and all I have to say to you is like, stop being so prudish. We ain't talking about no pleasures
Hey.
here. We're just talking about some clean, hygienic
You can even
products.
get those like baby wipe things or whatever. You get them from like the Dollar Shave Club and some other things that got. By the way, man, why are we throwing all these brands out here? But anyways, like you can wipe your buddy hole with those things. For the people listening, I just did like a little
we
finger
don't.
wipe for Luke.
This is it's a family podcast.
But anyways, like yeah, sure, that's like elevated beyond your toilet paper. But like if we're talking like. I haven't had an itchy butt in an entire year, dude. It's great. Get yourself a bidet. Be happy
yourself
about
a
your
bidet.
butthole. Be happy about your life.
Treat yourself. You deserve it.
All right.
Be a king like Tyler.
All right, dude.
Time for some side quests.
You been side
man.
questing?
Dude, so last month I had no side quests, and this month I have 7 side quests.
Oh boy,
I don't actually know if, so I'm gonna go through these in my most efficient manner possible.
Right on.
First off, Forgotten City was gifted to me in Christmas by Ace,
yeah,
and I
you-
took a long time to play it. It's real cool. I do not know how to describe the game other than you're kind of unsolving a puzzle mystery. A lot of text, a lot of like discovery text, so you're picking dialogue
Is there
options.
voice acting
and-
too, or is it all red?
Yeah, it is. There's good voice acting in there. I'd say that's actually pretty prime. And you kind of unravel this mystery, and the game guides you. I got anxious that I was like, man, I'm not like good at this type of stuff, but the game guides you in a really fun way, and you unravel a lot, and you feel like really cool when you piece some things together. And there's a bunch of different endings. I only played about 4 or 5 hours before I found one of the endings, but it was pretty cool. So if you see that on a Steam sale, it's a full send.
Yeah, it's been on my wish list for a while. It drops down 35%
Yeah.
every couple months, and I'm waiting for it to hit.
I think it's a smaller team. I think it started as a Skyrim mod.
Oh, okay.
So I would send it in the name of putting your money towards Cool Place. From there, I have played Pokemon Arceus, or I'm in the middle of playing Pokemon Arceus. I've put a decent amount of hours into there. Some quick thoughts. What I really like, they changed up the formula a bunch. So you kind of run into Pokemon in the wild, as in like you see them out there. It's a lot faster. So you like throw your Pokeball out there, your homie appears. There's no transition screen, anything like that. You watch them kind of do the attacks. Pokemon can attack you, the person. So you kind of actually throw your Pokemon out there to defend yourself. And you like catch a bunch of them to fill up your Pokedex because you're like back in time because of some nonsense time rift. What I don't like, you don't have any trainers to fight. You don't have any gyms. There's like a trainer or two to fight, but like they kind of took that component out of the game.
Oh, it's so quintessential to the Pokemon
I agree.
experience.
So it's like almost like, I mean, it's like a fusion dish they made where I'm like, I like the elements of this. And if for their new mainline series ones that are coming out in the fall, I really hope they take that combat and that Pokemon catching style and that open world nature of it. And I hope they implement it with kind of a quest built around gyms and battling more trainers. So that's my thoughts on that.
What do you do for bosses in this game? Because the trainers are
Great
kinda
question. Fight these big out of control Pokemon, which is the best way I can describe it. And you like you like run around like dodging their attacks, and you throw these like I think they call them charms.
When you say big and out of control, like the Sword and Shield, how you had those like just actually like huge Pokemon? Is that what you're
Not
talking
that
about?
huge, but they're real big. They're like a lot bigger than your character. But you kind of roll around like they're the classic size of like a video game boss. I know that's arbitrary, but like I think you
They're
kind of
large.
get one. Yeah, they're large, but they're not massive, right? So there's like a supercharged Pokemon, and then you roll around and throw these things at it, and then you send your Pokemon out to battle them when they're weak, and that kind of brings down their health too. And then, yeah, so that's actually kind of interesting. I don't like it, but it's interesting, and it's like Pokemon's long been derided for not adapting
Right on.
or doing anything new, so I do appreciate the new stabs they took, and I hope they kind of cut out some of the stale parts. In a similar way like the Final Fantasy games do that new combat instead of turn-based. Like, I'd like them to just kind of take their new thing and put it over some of the old mechanics. And then lastly, I bought me a daddy Xbox.
Oh boy.
Xbox Series X. This has been a PlayStation family for like good decade
Since the
and a half.
PS2, bro.
Yeah, maybe almost 2 decades. Shoot, we're getting old, dog. But had a PlayStation 2, was yours, obviously, so that was like the first big time system
Yeah.
that I grew up with. And then I
both-
bought me a PS3,
Right.
and then I had a PS4, and I was very loyal, and I was like, we're from the generation, Xbox versus PlayStation.
I know. I'm so happy we moved
And
beyond the
yeah,
console wars.
it's a little much. But Xbox Series X's are available, and Xbox Game Pass slaps.
Right on.
So like I just did it.
Dude, if for anyone that's been listening to like the arc of Low Five Gaming, the podcast,
Sure.
like we both had Game Pass because we were able to do our like trials or like whatever
we
it
were
was.
new on PC.
Right,
back
right.
Then, yeah.
So we're all like, Game Pass kind of dope. Then we're like, I don't want to pay for this shit.
But now that I got the daddy Xbox, it's worth it again. So I'm playing MLB The Show.
Right
I've got a brand new system so I can play 2010's Skate 3.
to use
great time.
to use their marketing terminology, dude. It is the what is the best deal in gaming or whatever. Is that what everybody says
Yeah.
about it? And I think that's
Essentially.
fair, dude. And I think that's totally cool. And if I ever get my hands on a daddy Xbox, I will also get Game Pass.
Can you imagine to get like Game Pass when you were a kid?
Oh man, it'd be wild. Well,
Like,
they did have Sega Channel.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, it was so dope. It was like this thing that you connected to your cable and it connected to your Sega,
Oh, you have explained this before. Yeah.
and it basically was like a Netflix of Sega.
It's like the opposite of the conversation we had earlier with the Turtles, where it's just like, dog, that box of games you had with the Sega, like that's what you had. You weren't getting
Right,
new
right, right.
games. It's just you got them through a weird collection of things. Whereas now it's just like Xbox Game Pass is filtering
Dude,
games in and out all the time.
I hate the fact that you don't own any of them though, dude.
Yeah, it's weird, but also, what am I gonna do with my PS4?
But
games?
to be fair, like any digital game you own now, like you don't own it. You own the
Yeah,
rights to it, and if they
yeah.
pull it from, if they
That's
pull it, you just
all.
don't get to play.
It's a whole scandal there. Or like a lot of the games that we own on the Switch aren't going to be playable,
Right? If
even
they
though we
lose
have
support.
the cartridge.
Right.
Yeah. So like, what does that even mean other than it's a cool box? So yeah, Game Pass is dope.
Tight, dude. Well, I've been side questing as well.
You gonna tell me what you're playing? Shit,
Dude, I am still playing Red Dead Redemption 2 a
you
bunch
have
of
to
it.
beat it the first time. Yeah,
I want to say I'm roughly like 62, 63 hours in, which is about double from when we cut our last pod.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like,
Wow.
dude, I've been getting it in. And I'm still, I don't know how far in this game I've been like, I'm a sucker for the side quests though, dude. So like I will, if they're close to me on the map, I'll be like, fuck it, I'll do the side quest.
Yeah.
And they're usually fun. Or if like, I usually don't fast travel. I enjoy just fucking running my horse.
Yeah,
And
it's the beauty of the game actually.
right, and almost every
All the
single
random
time, if
encounters.
you're, yeah, exactly. So if you're covering a certain amount of land, you're almost always going to run into something. Sometimes something cool, sometimes something like whatever. But
Yeah, they range in their levels of
totally.
significance.
So I've continued that. I'm plowing through the storyline in that game and been having a ton of fun. I also recently got my Playdate. So that's been really cool. For those of you that don't know, Playdate is this charming little yellow
Collector.
handheld gaming device that has a screen that is reminiscent of, I would say like a, what do you call it, fucking Kindle or whatever. So my only qualm with it is not backlit. But that said, this thing is money for outside. Like the screen looks so good in the sun.
Did you get to pick the color?
Nope, they're all yellow. And then
the
it has a little
purple,
case
yellow.
with a purple case.
Hell yeah, go Vikings.
I mean, go
dog.
Bikes, brah.
Yeah. Go Vikes.
But it's been really interesting. It has a crank, so the crank on the side of it is integral in almost all the games. So you've got your standard D-pad, and then you've got a B and an A button, and then you have a crank. And a lot of the games use this crank in interesting little ways. I wouldn't say. So they do a season pass, right? So with the thing comes the first season. I can't remember if it's like 16 to 20 games or something. So every week it downloads 2 new games to the system, which is an interesting way to go about it, right? Instead of just giving you all at once. Every week from the day that you load it up for the first time, you start with 2 games. Then they unleash 2 more on you the next time. So for me, I got it on a Monday, or I started it up on a Monday. So every Monday I get 2 more games. And I would say some games are cool. Some they're all like quirky and fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the system's all about. So, like, I've really been enjoying it. I've seen, like, a lot of people are hyped on this because it's definitely way out of left field. It's a lot different than any other systems being put out on the market right now. And I think just for, like, it's a toy. They're all toys. And this one is charming. Like,
They're their own company.
Yeah.
Did I see this in a direct? Or
No.
where did I even get the information for this?
They've been, the marketing, but the marketing, I've been, like, talking about for, like, a year.
Yeah, I know you
And, and like, the marketing behind it has been
collectible?
interesting. So, a lot of different, like, it's been all over the, video game press and all that shit.
Yeah.
But, now that they're out, a lot of people are reviewing them and they're kind of middle of the road on it. And I understand that, but at the same time, the thing was always marketed as this quirky throwback device, and that is 100% what it is. So I like it. I dig it. I do wish that it had like the Kindle Paperwhite has like an illuminated back screen, and that is the only thing this is lacking. Is so you can't play in the dark, which like makes it a little bit more nostalgic, where you got to catch some light, but it's actually not that bad in low light.
Yeah.
So that is the number 2 thing. I've got Side Quest Red Dead, Side Quest Playdate. The last thing that I want to bring up is I just recently got my Game Boy Advance album Triangle, which is Slow Magic, one of my favorite artists. He recently had the 10-year anniversary of his album Triangle, which is a fantastic album. Go check out Slow Magic. Go listen to Triangle. Go listen to all this shit. But it is a great album, and to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, dude, put the album and all the music videos onto a Game Boy Advance cartridge, and I can play it on my Game Boy Advance or my Game Boy Pocket or whatever. And it's just like super fun.
This is so absurdly specific.
Dude, I'm going to show it to you. This is so dope.
Yeah, for sure.
He also put it out on Dreamcast. So if you have a Dreamcast, you can watch the videos on the Dreamcast. And I want to say he might have done an album. What else? I think he did a VHS tape, which is dope, but I don't have a VHS player anymore, and I was very tempted to get that, and I was like, oh, you can't just buy everything, Alex.
There's limits. I got the Game Boy Advance album. I don't need the VHS.
Right. But it's just a super cool thing to have in my collection. It like is a total crossover of my music and gaming worlds. And shout out to the homie Slow Magic. And yeah, that's the last side quest that I want to talk about for the day.
Very neat.
Oh, no. One more thing. Portal. I started playing Portal's fucking dope.
Portal.
I played Portal the other day, and that shit was dope.
Shouts out Tyler.
Shout out to the homie Tyler, who's in the Discord, been trying to get us to play Portal forever. And we're like, we'll get to it, bud. I got to it, and Portal was fucking dope, dude. I haven't played Portal 2 yet. I'm very excited about Portal 2, but I knocked through Portal 1 in about 5 hours. Without looking anything up on the internet, so I forced myself to do it.
Nice.
You know, and it's like a great puzzle game, dude. It's the mechanics of it are fun, and I get it now. Portal's dope.
I get it, man. Tight.
Right on.
All right. So next month's gonna be a little different for all you faithful. We're still gonna have some fun, but you're gonna notice that we're gonna be like oddly polite and not swearing at each other as much.
Yeah, we'll fucking see.
Academic dog. There's going to be a little bit of a fusion in there. We got a project coming out, more details on that. But essentially, the game will be Cities Skylines. So a lot of it will be talking about kind of the fun and the nonsense we get into in playing that game. I'm sure Al has some history with SimCity and other city builders of the past. I'll certainly be talking about some other city builders I play. But City Skylines is probably one of my favorite games that I've come into as an adult. And I would say it's easily the most influential game as far as how it tickles my brain for a lot of different reasons, and we'll be getting into that. So if you've been a fan of the pod, it'll be a little bit of a different mix-up in the formula. It's going to be a little bit more structured, but it's still going to be really cool. So if it's not quite your jam, just know we'll be back to saying stuff like boobs and washing your butthole in the month after.
Shit, fuck, booty hole.
Stop.
I'm the one who edits this thing, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
Fair enough. All right, peace.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Till next month, play some City Skylines. Holler at us in the Discord. Check out low5gaming.com. Follow us on the socials. Give us some love.
Post some pics of your little trash cities.
I would love to see posts of your trash cities. Honestly, post some of your city pics so we can tell Luke his cities are fucking garbage.
I'm gonna have to get the trap jumping. I'm gonna show you how.
Luke doesn't even know how to make a screenshot, so he's gonna take phone pictures of his fucking laptop.
Got a good point there.
Much love, y'all. Thanks so much for listening. Really, truly, we love you.
Get the fuck out of here.
Really, truly.
Your dad and I love you so much.
Hey, Mom and Dad, thanks for listening.
You don't listen though.
Peace.
We were awesome!
Bodacious!
Good shit!
Gnarly!
Radical!
Yeah!
Totally toothless, dude!
Wicked!
Delicious! Mega!
I have always liked Kawabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made her funny.
All the